Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here, this time a movie review. I went to Regal Mystery Movie Monday and it ended up being Ava DuVernay's Origin. I had no clue what this movie was until literally the end of the movie when the titles popped up. I didn't even know this movie existed, to be perfectly honest, so this was a little bit of a surprise. This movie is about the true story of Isabel something, who ended up writing a book called, I don't even remember what it's called. She wrote a book in 2020 that came out, became a big seller. Basically, what this movie is the woman Isabel bringing up different periods of time, such as the Holocaust, such as slavery, such as Trayvon Martin shooting, just all these periods in time, and basically just showing. I don't necessarily know what this movie's kind of trying to say. Essentially, humans are evil. That's kind of what I've gotten out of this movie. I feel dumb having. That's not true. I don't feel dumb. This movie, okay. This is the best way to describe this movie. It was 2 summers ago. I went to Chicago for the summer. Well, not for the summer. I went there on vacation for the summer. And I fit in like 4 different museums in 2 days' time. And after those 2 days, my head hurt like hell because I was trying to get all this information, learn all these things in my head at one time. And my head just like from so much information. That's this movie. This movie has so much crap in it. And I shouldn't even say crap. That's not a correct thing to say because a lot of the stuff in this movie is very interesting. Interesting real things that happened. But it's mixed in with all this other stuff and you're trying to connect it together. And the movie does it in a terrible way of trying to see this is how this is all connected. Sorry, I have to get more comfortable here. So yeah, the movie does a very terrible job of connecting things together. This movie very much wants to hold your hand in spots to the point where literally Isabel's character literally grabs a whiteboard and starts writing words on it and like circling and underlining so we understand, oh, this is connected. I was very frustrated by this movie because there's a lot of great stuff in here, but it's not done particularly well, in my opinion, as far as like editing and pacing goes. This movie also feels at times like it's more of a documentary than a movie, and I think it just should have been a documentary instead of a movie. It has some great cast members. Jon Bernthal is in this movie. Nick Offerman literally has like 3 lines in this movie for some reason. And he's also wearing a Trump hat, and it's like I don't understand. The scene that in particular he's in is just weird and awkward, and I think that's kind of the point of it. This movie is supposed to be awkward and uncomfortable, but there's just, I understand the point the movie is trying to make. To me, though, as I'm watching, talking about this movie, I'm like, there really is no point to this movie except humans are evil. Like, that's really what I'm getting from this movie, and that's not what we should be getting from this movie. There's definitely a bigger, more important message here, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it from this movie. It's not that I didn't understand it. It's just I didn't get it from the movie. It wasn't there really at the end of the day. It's trying to be there, but it's not there. Boy, do I need to shave my beard. Look at this. Look at my mustache. See, guys, that's how, that's what this movie did to me. I'm more concerned about my beard than I am the movie, which is not what should be happening here. This is a very serious movie with some very serious stuff in it. The movie also goes into Isabella's life. Isabella went through some very tough times around the time that she was writing this book. Oh, it's playing. I don't want it to play. I don't want it to play. I don't want it to play. So anyways, she was going through some very tough times, some deaths in her family and such like that. And the thing about these deaths is they're not explained. It's just people die, and it's like, okay. And it's like, how? How did these people die? And, like, it almost doesn't even explain who these people are sometimes. Well, I mean, it does, but, like, you don't care. Like, they die, and you're like, oh, that sucks. And it's trying to make you cry and be sad, and it's trying to be, like, depressing porn, as I would call it, which I say that, and I feel bad saying that, because this is very much real stuff that has happened, and is true, and it's awful. But I'm calling it depressing porn, because this movie is just depressing porn. I have never, so again, like I said, this is Regal Mystery Movie Monday. I have never seen so many people walk out of a movie. I think the theater was fairly filled. I want to say there was a good 30, 40 people in there. I want to say at least half of the theater walked out. Because it is depressing, because it is hand-holding, because it is boring at times. And the pacing is just not good. This movie feels like it's 5 hours long. And at the end of the day, I wish this had been a documentary. I wish this had been just a documentary. Because there's really interesting stories in here. But they just don't even feel like they should be in the movie. But they're such great scenes. For example, not really a spoiler, there is a story given about a baseball team that has a child of color in it. And they go to a pool. I'm not going to say any more than that. That scene is great. But why is it in the movie? Like, I get it in the sense of why it's there. Because this woman wrote a book and she interviewed this person telling the story of this to connect this and that and that. But it doesn't make sense in the movie. It's just there to be there. Now, if this had been a documentary and someone was talking about this the way that they kind of do in the movie and had shown it the way it was, this would have made more sense. I think Ava DuVernay was like trying to make a documentary. She went, let's just make a movie instead. I don't know. That's what it feels like. I didn't love this movie. I was very bored by this movie. I was really close to walking out just because, honestly, I thought this movie was going to be Argylle. From what the rating said, from how long this movie is, well, Regal always puts on 10, 15 minutes longer so you don't guess the movie. So I had guessed this was going to be Argylle because, you know, it's usually a movie early, which this movie, like, critics saw this movie like 2 months ago. I think this movie technically came out in like September. So this movie's not an early screening for people. That's not what I'm getting either. I know it's like technically like a wider release. I want to say January 19th or something. So technically I did get to see it early. And that's not what I'm complaining about. I'm not complaining about anything really. I'm just saying I thought this movie was literally going to be Argylle. And boy, was this not Argylle. This was not a fun action comedy movie. This was, my head hurts and I'm tired. As you can see, I'm actually tired. My hair's a mess. I need to give Chester here. I need to get him outside. We need to go for a walk. I need to take a shower. I need to go to bed. Yeah, guys, as far as the rating for this movie goes, I didn't love this movie. I honestly wanted to love this more. There is some interesting stuff in here. I do like history. I do... it interests me when we as humans do horrible things. And for example, I have talked about, I just recently watched the Ed Gein 4-part documentary series thing on MGM+. It fascinates me why he was doing the things he was doing. Jeffrey Dahmer, I've talked about on this channel a couple times. It fascinates me to understand why he was doing what he was doing. It fascinates me to understand John Wayne Gacy. What was he, why? Ted Bundy, the Mansons. Those kind of things do fascinate me. Like, why do we as people tend to be evil? And the thing that I also love about this kind of stuff is we're disgusted and we're by the things that people do. But at the same time, we do some evil things. We bully, we do discriminate, we do judge, and it's just fascinating that we think these people are so terrible. When at the end of the day, we are doing things that are really terrible to drive people sometimes to become terrible. Anyways, yeah, I just threw out a bunch of stuff at you, and I apologize. All right, guys, I gotta get to bed. I'm tired. I don't even know if Chester wants to go out for a walk. Maybe he does. I don't know. See, he's looking up now. I said walk. See? Chester's tired today. He's been tired. But yeah, guys, I hope you have a great night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, and did I give this movie a rating? I don't think I did. 5 out of 10. I didn't like this movie. I wanted to like it more. I like bits and pieces of it. I'd like to see a documentary of this, but I never want to watch this movie again. It wasn't that great. 5 out of 10. It's fine. Yeah. Okay. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm going to bed. I'm tired. Bye.